Deputy Rabbitte.
Thank you, Laska Hirlik. I welcome the opportunities to talk on the two amendments, and in response to the Minister in relation to amendment number 2, I find it difficult that we wouldn't be including the word mental health, to be quite honest. I think we should be, because we're supposed to talk that physical health is equally as important as mental health. And the fact that it's the Children's Hospital, I would be supporting the amendment in relation to mental health. In amendment number 1 then, in relation to the Kathleen Lynn National Hospital, I happen to agree with what the Minister has said, and I want to explain why I agree with it. That I do believe that the new body, we have to give the new body, when they take over the hospital, some authority and some control, and I think it would be up to them to decide on the awarding of that particular name. And I think it's not for us to take that away from them, and I think we should stay with what it is, the Children's Health Bill 2018, and when the new board or body is set up, to be supportive of them. And I have to also acknowledge the fact that Dr. Kathleen Lynn, she did so much good work, and it seems very appropriate that you would want to name it after her and do everything else like that, but I don't think that's for us. I think we have to give that to the board to decide. Thank you.
Deputy O'Snuddy. 2 minutes.
Yeah, just in relation to Amendment 2, sorry, I meant to speak on Amendment 2. I think in this day and age, I think it's illogical that we don't mention mental health. It's not an extra cost. There's no major difficulty. I think it's an acknowledgement that, yes, it falls under health in general, but given the scale of the issues and the fact, kind of as the Minister outlined, kind of some of the provisions of this bill are dealing with mental health, then surely it should be mentioned in its own. And I think we are a lot more enlightened in this day and age than we were in the past. And I think that enlightenment kind of allows us to call things as they are. So I think having mental health down specifically in the way that we have mentioned in Amendment 2, it's not an onerous ask, and I think it should be done. In relation to the Amendment 1, I just think it's a pity that this hadn't been done at this stage. I asked about the National Children's Development Board, or whatever, first in 2011 or 12, because it was on the programme for government in 2011, and I asked about it 3 times every single year since, because this body was supposed to be set up, which would have then dealt with the question of the name, prior to it even turning Assad. I was told the Development Board would be in place before Assad was turned. The Assads are turned. There's a hole in the grounds. The Minister knows that because she lives quite close to it and probably sees kind of the effects of it every day. So we can wait and wait and wait. Kind of, if even last year, the decision about the Phoenix Hospital was announced last October, and we were told then, OK, we'll have a naming system. Still hasn't started a year later. So that's why I don't have faith, and my party doesn't have faith in saying wait and this might happen that way, and that's why we are pushing Amendment 1, that we are quite specific and that the hospital be named after one of the most pioneering women in Irish medical history.
Deputy O'Snuddy, where stands Amendment 1? Are you pressing it? Oh, sorry.
Reply.
Or 2 as well, yeah. Yeah.
I think I gave to reply in the beginning. Just to add, particularly in cases, as I stated earlier, the Children's and Adolescent Mental Health Services of the HRC will be responsible for the provision of the mental health service, while the new Children's Hospital will include facilities for over 20 beds, acute child and adolescent mental health under CAMS inpatient unit. The provision of the service will be the HSC CAMS service rather than the new body will be running it, so that's why that's